Hello and welcome back to the Done Deal YouTube channel on this glorious Irish day. And beside me we have the Lexus LBX. It is a full hybrid, and in this video we're going to be talking about 8 things you need to know before considering buying one. Number 1 is that this is the smallest Lexus ever made. And to do that, they've teamed up with their cousins at Toyota and borrowed the chassis from the Yaris and the Yaris Cross. And initially that could put you off a little bit, but don't let it, because this is very premium. Number 2, driving. And quickly I want to discuss the shifter, because I was trying to pull it back yesterday, but what you actually need to do is pull it in towards you and back, and then actually back again if you want to go into regenerative braking. Then as you pull off, it's nice and quiet in electric mode. And actually theoretically around town you could do up to 50% of your driving in just pure EV mode, which is very impressive. And that's the same as the Yaris Cross, and a lot of the Toyota and Lexus range, to be fair. To drive, it's quite nice in terms of size. It's not too big, and I personally find a lot of large SUVs just a little bit too much. This is perfect for fitting in and out tight spots. It's not overly sized. It's also quite light at only just under 1,300 kilograms, which is lovely. Now you might hear that beep. That's because I'm exceeding the speed limit ever so marginally, and that is a European rule nowadays, so it's in every modern car. However, it is a little bit of a faff to turn it off within the infotainment system. I'm sure you can probably create a shortcut, but I haven't done that yet. The seating position is lovely. You sit nice and low, but you still have great visibility. And I really like the steering wheel. It's quite thin, which is really nice in the hands and also feels very premium with the material used. One thing I really like is that you can put it in that regenerative braking, so when you take your foot off the accelerator, it uses the power of the car slowing down to put energy into that battery. And that actually makes driving with more or less one pedal really, really easy. However, if you're not a fan of that, you can just drive it in regular driving mode. And what's really cool about that then is as you approach a red traffic light, or if the traffic in front of you is slowing down, it has the intelligence to actually slow down for you. Another really cool thing is if you put it in reverse, it has a really high quality reversing camera. Today the raindrops are on it, which is a bit of a shame, but when I collected the car it was a nice sunny day, and it's just brilliant in terms of the graphics. Overall though, it is a lovely car or crossover to drive. It's the perfect size, it's quite simplistic, but also has the advanced technology like radar, cruise control, lane keep assist, and all those goodies that you might like if you're taking it for a long drive down the motorway. Number 3 is prices and specs, and there's 3 different specifications: urban, elegance and emotion. Now urban, that starts at about 36,500 euros. This here is an elegance, that's about 39,500 euros. And if you decide to go for emotion, it's in the early 40s. And there's also 9 different colors available. Now the boot, this surprised me, but it is a manual tailgate. However, I suspect if you upgrade to the Emotion, you get an electronic one. Now in here, it's a nice open space. It's about 400 litres. You can fold the seats in a 60-40 split to increase the size of it. It's got a nice rugged mat down here, a few tie down hooks, and that's about it. You will fit a buggy relatively easy and some golf clubs. You might need to take the driver out, but you'll get them in, which is most important. And the only thing I will say is it's quite a high entrance, so if you are trying to load up some dogs in there, you might need to give them a bit of a hand. So that could deter some dog owners. But other than that, it's quite a nice boot, bigger than something like a Golf, and it is pretty spacious. Next up is the interior, and I have to say this is where it really becomes a Lexus. The seats are so comfortable, and the bolster support is on a whole other level. The steering wheel is really nice and thin. On the right hand side you have everything to do with driving, your cruise control, your lane assist, and on the left hand side to your infotainment system and adjusting the volume. On the note of volume, there is a volume knob, but the rest of everything happens in this 9.2 inch screen. Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, which is the most important thing, and it is really easy to navigate. And then of course for your climate control you actually have these buttons here to lower and raise the temperature, which is quite nice. There's wireless charging, one cup holder, which is a shame. That's a little bit kind of limiting. So if you have a passenger, you do find yourself, if you both have a coffee, one person ends up holding it. Then everything down here, there's a little bit of storage in here with another cup holder, but it is kind of hidden away there. And there's also some more storage down here. Lastly, you do have this 12-inch digital display in front of the driver, which has all your key information. However, I'd actually advise going down to your local Lexus dealership and talking to them about it, sitting into it, feeling it out, and then you'll get a real sense for what it's like. So if you'd like to find Lexus for sale, then hit the link up there. This is a squeaky clean engine bay, wow. Let's talk about engines, and I have to say, Lexus, this is the cleanest engine bay I think I've ever come across. Now, it is a self-charging hybrid. That means you don't need to plug it in. It generates the electricity for its battery through the engine in it and also through the motion of slowing down. Now, in terms of the engine itself, it is a 1.5 litre petrol engine. It's a 3-cylinder, and then that's paired with an electric motor, and together they make a little bit more than the Toyota Yaris at 134 brake horsepower. You can drive up to 50% of the time in electric mode, and there is actually an EV button in the side, which means if you're in a city, you can actually drive in pure electric mode if you've got enough energy in the battery. And all that combined means it's very efficient. In the rear, I'm not going to try and glamorize this. It is very Yaris-like. It's quite tight. You definitely get the sense that it's optimized for front passengers. There's virtually very little knee room, and this seat is in my position and I'm not very tall. Headspace, that's actually pretty decent. There's also some ISOFIX points, so whether it's for your kids or your grandkids, they should be okay, but when they get older, it will become a little bit tighter. There's also 2 USB-C charging points down here, and that's essentially everything. And last but not least is the extensive warranty. So you get your regular 3-year warranty, I think it is, on the car. However, the hybrid battery, well, the good news with that is it has up to 15 years and unlimited mileage on that battery. And that is, of course, subject to you servicing it at a Lexus dealership, but that is pretty impressive. And what's more is, when your regular 3-year warranty expires, if you service it at a Lexus dealership, then you'll get the Lexus Relax Extended Warranty, which means that it is continually covered under warranty for 10 years or up to 185,000 kilometers. That is pretty impressive. Anyway, hopefully you've enjoyed this review. If you have, please make sure to subscribe. If you'd like to search for a Lexus dealership near you, you can hit the link up there. But for now, that's it from us. We'll see you in the next one.